P-I-C-O.
Pico. Prospective. Pico Prospective. And welcome everybody to the episode 12, the year-end review for Pico Prospective. I'm your producer and occasional host, George Tucker. With me today are the fine folks from PicoPros.com. They are the sponsors and the creator of the show. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, George.
Hey, George.
All right. You know, it's been a year and a half since we've been starting to do these shows. It's all started off with a special for Aviation, a podcast, an audio-only podcast. I'm talking about video stuff on audio, right?
Yeah.
But we have then developed into video, and a lot has come about from about, I don't know, what is it, August of 2013 or something like that? I can't remember.
I think our first show was June, July of...
summer. The dog days of 2013.
Come a long way.
It's a long way. It's true. It's true. So there's been a lot this year, though. We started off slow, teaching people about Pico Projection, and then we really got into the reviews. The year end, we did a lot. You guys provided me with a list for the year of shows we did, and I didn't remember how many cool stuff we actually talked about. But we're going to go through some of that. We're going to try and tell you guys about some of the accessories that are out there that you may want to, holiday cash is burning a hole in your pocket that Aunt May gave you. But what I'm very excited about is you guys, just before the show, told me about some really interesting news from a company that has potential to be a big player in the Pico projection market. A company called, can you correct me if I'm wrong, Celluon?
Celluon, yes.
Celluon. So what's going on with Celluon? What's the big news with these guys?
Yeah, thanks, George. Great to be here again on another episode of Pico Perspectives, episode 12, I guess, now. Celluon, spelled C-E-L-L-U-O-N. They specialize in a laser-based keyboard, so it's actually a little module that you pair via Bluetooth, and you can type using, there you go, if you're watching the video, you can pair it with your smartphone, tablet, and type wirelessly using their Epic projection keyboard, which is pretty cool. And I've seen a lot of reviews on this thing. It's been around for a few years now, at least. But more recently, meaning just in the last couple months, they've been hinting at a new product or set of products. And now we're seeing some. If you're looking on the video on this podcast, they're actually teasing a couple new products. One called the Pico Pro, which has nothing to do with us, no affiliation whatsoever, but the Pico Pro and then the Pico Air, two laser-based HD Pico projectors, both supporting wireless streaming from either your Apple device or DLNA or Miracast, that kind of thing. So you could stream video content, again, at 720p HD content or resolution from your mobile device. It has obviously an embedded battery, speakers, all that kind of thing. Both of these products look pretty amazing, and we're seeing a lot of interest from our readers, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, just our website in general.
Those are coming up at CES.
Exactly. Right? So we're pretty.
We're trying to get them to come on the show. Hopefully they will, so they can talk a little bit more about those two projectors.
Absolutely. We're in pretty close contact. I mean, the company's from Korea, so there's a bit of a time difference, about 14-hour difference.
South Korea.
South Korea, to be specific.
I'm just kidding. I just saw the movie.
We don't need to get hacked here. Let's keep it to Korea. So
you're saying it's not a Sony product?
I don't know. So actually, it's funny enough you say. It really could be because it's a laser-based Pico projection engine. They talk about 720p. Sony's had some news this past year talking about a 720p projection engine. So there's all kind of rumors. Actually, it's funny you bring that up, actually, George. There's rumors that it could be Sony's technology in the Celluon product. Now, that's yet to be confirmed. Sounds like we might be able to get more news right before CES based on their Twitter feed at Celluon. Go on their Twitter feed. There's some juicy bits of information there. You can actually get the idea that we're going to hear something very soon. CES is literally a week away, basically. And so hopefully we'll hear something soon from them. Maybe they'll give some specs on brightness. We know the resolution is going to be 720p. They talk about that. We know it's going to have Miracast, DLNA, AirPlay support. We know that the Pico Pro is going to be the higher end version for about $350, HDMI input, that kind of thing. They're keeping it simple. It's about the size of what they're calling a phablet, which is going to be probably about a Galaxy Note size device.
Yep.
And looks pretty, this is a Galaxy S4, so it's going to be slightly larger than this, slightly thicker, and but it's going to be able to give you, 2-3 hours of playtime, at 720p content.
It's pretty good.
From your smartphone or whatever, and it's going to be vibrant colors, being a laser-based projection engine. I mean, all the things we talk about for the last couple of years is finally coming in one small compact package at a very competitive. If you could get this thing for $350, that's an amazing deal.
Yeah, I mean, we've come a long way this year.
$350. So let's talk about that this year. I'm going to throw a little curveball.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But the average price over the last 2 years.
Yep.
Has it come down significantly? Or has it
I think it's been the features that you get in a Pico projector have just accumulated into a projector rather than the price.
It's really hard to tease that out, George, because as the price of the engine comes down, the OEMs are just slapping on more features, so the price has been coming down to some degree.
We've come a long way over the year 2014.
Yeah.
So we started with the Elmo Boxy MP.
That's a completely different animal, though. Right?
I know. We started with such a low, not a low projector, but it's a very, simple projector, right? And that was about $550, 300 lumens.
Right. You're in a different category at that one.
At the end of the year, we're at, where are we? We're at projectors with embedded OS, Android built in at 550 lumens,
right,
and around the same price. So
it depends. So you have mobile projectors that are going to be much brighter. Maybe they have an embedded operating system. Maybe they don't. Something like the Pico Air or the Pico Pro. Again, no affiliation. Those at $350. So you look at something like the AXA P2 Junior, which we reviewed on the site. Awesome little projector. I forget the lumen rating on it. It's a lower lumen product, but had the video inputs, but it doesn't have an operating system. Certainly doesn't support wireless streaming, and that was a couple $100. So for another $100 with more battery time and again supporting the wireless, it's really I think and of course the Pico Pro or the Pico Air is going to be laser based, so certain advantages about infinite focus, meaning you don't have to focus the image whether you're 10 inches away or 10 feet away. You don't have to worry about focusing the image. It's always sharp. It's always going to be crisp and clear. And a laser based image also has superior contrast, and when the lasers are off, literally you have infinite contrast ratio more or less, right? So you're kind of comparing apples and oranges because the laser-based projectors are inherently more expensive at the moment, and then you're comparing them to LED projectors. So it's really hard to compare the Pico Air and the Pico Pro to something like the AXA P2 Junior. But the cost. Sorry, go ahead.
What it sounds to me like is that we have a good selection of features and price that sort of leave you a good swath of people to have either entry level or to step up to something really, really sophisticated. Depending on how your Pico hobby or passion goes. Something to travel and give to the kids and put off, or something you really want high quality. Which leads me to a question about Cellulon. Do we know anything what they're teasing about image size, and is that an HDMI connector that's full size and stuff like that?
Actually, I'm not sure if the HDMI connection is full size. My guess is that it would be. There seems to be enough real estate for that, but we'll have to wait for the the press release for that. As far as image size, they talk about having a 10-foot image that's in focus in a dark room. They actually posted on their YouTube, or excuse me, not YouTube, but on Twitter. They projected a 110-inch image in a very dark room, of course. I don't know the lumen rating on this thing, but they projected on their Twitter page again a 110-inch image, and I mean, when you look at the Twitter image, it looks incredible. Again, it depends how dark the room is, but yeah, you can get a very large image from the Cellulon product, apparently.
And you said they're showing at CES, so let's talk a little bit about, instead of in review, but let's just step aside for a second and look at 2015. CES, do we think this is going to be a banner year for showing of Pico projection systems, or do you think we're still in that sort of growth and consolidation period for the industry?
I think we're still in the growth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's still a niche unfortunately.
Yeah,
and we've been following this for over 7 years. I do believe it's still in the small growth cycle.
Yeah.
I think at some point in 15 we're going to see it finally kick. I thought this last year, but I really think this has got to be the year.
Maybe 2015, Christmas present will be a AXA whatever.
It depends.
Or sell you one.
I think the whole industry has been waiting for the wireless connectivity to be widespread. And finally, in 2014, almost every smartphone is able to connect wirelessly through DLNA, Miracast, or AirPlay.
I think the whole thing is we ended the year 2014 with some pretty cool projectors that have some cool features that we've been waiting for a long time. And now that those features are in projectors ending the year 2014, we're going to see those projectors, those types of projectors and those type of things move forward in 2015, primarily an embedded operating system in a projector. The Android system is built into many projectors that we've seen at the end of 2014. Those types of projectors where you have an embedded Android operating system where it ties in with things like your cell phone, like Paul has a Galaxy S phone right now. It's running Android. If that ties in with the things that he's bought on Google Play through the Google Play Store, that type of thing, if those tie in with the projector, those, like, for example, he buys a video on that on his phone, then he can view it on his Pico projector that has Android built in.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a really cool thing. Size, battery life is going to be a very big thing. But the thing is, we're moving into something that we're seeing lately is a smart Picos. Pico projectors that have that functionality where they're tied in with their smartphone, where they have the embedded operating system. That we'll see a little bit more of, and like what Paul was saying with the Wi-Fi capabilities, a lot of the projectors that we saw earlier in 2014, if we could kind of picture 2015, kind of looking at 2014 to project the projection, I guess the progression of 2014, right? 2014 started with small projectors that didn't have a lot of Wi-Fi capabilities, didn't have embedded operating systems. You had to connect them to a phone, or you had to connect them to a portable DVD player or something like that. At the end of the year, we looked at full OS projectors, complete wireless capabilities, meaning that you could connect to a Wi-Fi network, get videos.
You want to give 2 examples of that?
Well, we have the Smart Pico.
Smart Pico?
That's probably the biggest one because in September, which was a big month for us, we did a lot of cool stuff in September. We had the no, I don't want to look at that one. Well, the Smart Pico wireless Pico projector, that was like the biggest one. Okay, Android was built in, had mirror control, which is a cool thing because you can actually
their own app, mirror control, not to be confused with Miracast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can control your you can kind of control the projector through the TV, and we have a couple videos on that. And then we also have the AXA Technologies Android LED projector. They actually titled it Android LED projector, meaning that their focus was the Android OS, which is a big deal. Just being able to have your projector fully mobile with the OS, with Wi-Fi, able to stream YouTube, stream music through Spotify, anything like that is a big deal. And I think that's cool because we saw 2014, January of 2014, we didn't have really any projectors that did that. The end of 2014, we're seeing a lot of these smart projectors, and so we're starting 2015 with these types of projectors that we're ending 2014 with. So it's interesting, what will we end 2015 with? And I think we've come a long way with Pico projectors for 2014. So
one of the other ones we should probably highlight, to be fair, is the Favi J6 LED Pico. So that's another one of these Wi-Fi enabled projectors. Literally, it's about the size of my Galaxy S4. A little bit thicker, of course.
Yeah, that one looked like
slightly larger. has a nice little touch screen, or not touch screen, but a touch-sensitive navigation menu on the top. Pretty slick product for $349, if I remember correctly. WVGA resolution. Again, just a really nice implementation. Probably my favorite projector from Favi Entertainment. It's both on cost, but also all the features. Again, supports all your Miracast and all that. It's just an amazing projector.
Yeah.
I think those are the kinds of things as we, get into 2015. I'm hoping from AXA Technologies, because they've done such a wide variety of projectors. I'm hoping that somebody like an AXA Technologies, does their version of that, and then we'll see Favi improve on. It's all about competition, right? Favi will do an improved version with maybe a smaller form factor, bigger battery, whatever it is. And then again, when we talk about Celluon, they have the Pico Air and the Pico Pro. As we get into mid 15, it's only going to see these things get smaller, more efficient, more affordable. I think we're finally at that point, much like when featured phones made the jump to smartphones. We're going to finally see these things accelerate as companies are selling more and more of these things. More investment's going to come in, and it's going to drive prices down and features up. It really is, in my mind, a disruptive technology. As these things get more and more efficient and brighter, they're going to start to displace some of the other displays people are using in their potentially in their home, but as like a second screen. I think it could replace some of those things. I've said that for a while. I know you're speculative on that, but I really think so.
The thing I think of is with the Pico projector is it's a very small thing, and I see two worlds colliding here, right? I see, like you just said, the smartphone world, right?
Yep.
You had these phones, flip phones, thumb phones, then they turned into smartphones where they're connecting to the internet, getting email and everything, and doing all these really cool things. I see the same thing with Pico projectors. You have these really plain projectors. You had to hook them up. They're clunky. You got to connect them to some kind of weird thing, right? And then, bam, you have smart Pico projectors.
Right.
I see these two worlds colliding. If maybe 2015, we're going to see a smartphone and a smart Pico turn into a smartphone Pico. Like,
that's the holy grail.
I mean, like you just mentioned it, the Favi J6 LED Pico projector, right? That one looked like an iPhone.
Right.
The design of it.
It's pretty sweet.
It could basically, and if you take one of something like the Smart Pico at the end of the year, and you look at it and you say, "Oh, that's cool. That's a smart, Pico projector with an Android OS on it." Well, that's cool. What am I going to do with it, right? Well, if you have your phone mixed with it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's what
the other thing that I think is missing here, and for any app developers out there, please listen. I think one of the big things missing here, there's no apps that are going to take advantage of the Pico projection technology that I know of yet. If there are app developers out there, seriously, take a look at what these Pico projectors can do. And even if it's not an embedded Pico projector on a phone, but the ability to use a wireless connection and the things you could do with the Pico projector. I know Texas Instruments on their Galaxy Beam phone, they use the camera like an overhead projector, and you can actually scan a piece of paper underneath it and project it on the wall pretty large, like an old overhead projector. Little things like that. I think there's an opportunity for app developers to develop some really cool apps, especially once this really gets growing and you get, from hundreds of thousands of units to millions and millions of units or tens of millions of units. There's going to be a lot of people using these things, and I don't think most people know this technology is coming. I think there's an opportunity for some really unique Pico projection applications for tablets and smartphones, or even secondary devices that are paired to these things. I know you're an app developer, and we've talked about it. There's some really neat things we could do.
Cool ideas.
Let me ask you that without giving away anything that you might be trying to set out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would be the essential apps in 2015 that the Pico world would want to see to help push that forward and make it more useful?
That'd be giving away our secrets.
3 that you really need. Yeah, I know, without giving away what you may want to do.
It's tough. I think anything that's gonna. I know I've seen some touch projection stuff, really cool stuff. If we could find an app that enabled the touch projection of nobody has a touch projection product out there. I know the technology exists. I've seen it from Texas Instruments and from actually it was Microvision. The two of them showcase some touch projection capability. If there is a way to incorporate that into a retail setting or restaurants, that kind of thing, I really think there's some useful apps, whether it's an app that you download or a business would download or they license the technology, whatever it is. I think things like that where you're not just a dumb projector projecting XYZ ad on the wall, but you're interacting with it, or those eye beacons. I don't know if the viewers are familiar with eye beacons, but you get these beacons in the store, whether you're in a store and you walk up to a counter and it knows you're there, and kind of like Foursquare, it'll give you special coupon for so much off of whatever you're buying, might want to buy. I think, culmination of all these technologies, but more for me, it's the touch projection. I think is an interesting category for people to develop apps around.
I would agree. I was thinking of something other than touch projection, but other than that, the cool thing that you could probably do with the developing apps with a Pico projector, I would take advantage of the accelerometer. Like if you're, this might be far off a wall here. Let's say you have a Pico projector in your phone, say, all right, and you're shining something like directly in front of you. We talked about this one a couple times. I don't know if cut me off if you don't want to talk about it, but like a treasure hunt type of thing, right?
Yep.
So if you're like, let's say your GPS coordinates knows that you're at this exact area, right? It knows that I'm standing exactly here, and now that I'm holding my phone in a certain direction. If I scan it, if I go up to the ceiling, there's the hidden image or something like that.
It's real world gamification.
Geotagging type of thing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Somebody could certainly develop a
cool
game.
Apps that somebody's going to come up with.
Absolutely.
Or digital signage for that. That would be an interesting digital signage technique.
Absolutely.
If they know monitor here,
if they know exactly where you are and where you're pointing your phone, you can certainly do something real world gaming. I can't remember the game. What's that game?
3DS does that. I know that because my kids got it for Christmas. They add an overlay of a 3D image with the camera into the room, and they fight certain battles with some kind of spacecraft that is in the room according to the camera.
Right,
it's in the room, huh?
Well, let's talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about what are your, and I'll ask each of you to give me two of your favorite products that came out this year or that we discussed this year that really excited you. Rich, I'll start with you.
All right, so the first one has got to be the Smart Pico.
Okay. You like that, didn't you?
Well, it has an embedded operating system in it. It has Android built in, and it also has the mirror control capability. So basically, all you need to do is, it's the coolest projector, I think, of 2014. Is you hook up the projector, and then basically you hook it up to your display, right?
Wirelessly.
Wirelessly through the same Wi-Fi connection, and you can actually use it as a use your smartphone as a remote control for the Pico projector. So you can have the projector sitting in the middle of the room, projecting something, and then you can use.
It's basically like a TV and a remote control.
Yeah, and you could be sitting in the corner of the room, and you could use your smartphone as a remote control for the projector. Also, you can. It's cool because you have like a Android device on it, and then you have your Android device on your Android phone. So you can have the Android Smart Pico be sitting in the middle of the room, and then you can have your smartphone content be streaming to the projector, which is streaming to the wall.
So you can use your own operating system or the Smart Pico's operating system. You can either mirror what's on your device, or just use your device to control what's on the Smart Pico. You got it both ways. It's really cool.
Streaming content through is probably the coolest thing.
And what was your second one?
That would be the Acer C205.
Nice.
Because a couple of years ago we did a review of the Acer C120, and that was one of the most popular projectors that we've done a review on. It's got so many views on it.
It's odd though.
It's the Acer C120. We did it in 2012, and it has the most views on our website. it's a laptop companion projector.
All it is a USB connection.
There's
It's
nothing
not
to
compatible with HDMI or composite component video. Nothing.
Super simple.
It's just
to connect.
simple, but people apparently love that
Yeah,
projector.
the Acer C205 is basically the same thing. It does have an HDMI connection to it, so
Right.
it's a little bit of an upgrade on the connectivity.
A lot
and
brighter,
a little
too.
bit of an upgrade on the specs in that.
A lot bright, like double the brightness. Or something.
And that would be something that I'd pick up. I mean, if I were looking for a Pico projector.
It's pretty cheap too. I can't remember the exact price, but
yeah.
it's probably $250 or something.
I have the price here.
Actually, yeah.
Well, what makes
Yeah,
that one an
300.
advantage for you then?
$279 actually.
Portability and just easy to use.
The thing is, like,
Yeah, it's like that big.
4x6
About the size of
maybe.
my head.
No, that's
Okay.
like 5 feet.
Yeah, it's about the size of like
It's like 4x6,
4x6. Yeah.
roughly.
Yeah, I mean, 200 lumens. It had good picture. Really easy to pick up. You know.
People want, you got, it's bifurcated, right? You got people that want just, I just put in USB and I'm done. And you got the other people that want, better specs or lower. Yeah, I think things are getting bifurcated in a way where some people want the smartphone, some people want the dumb phone kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm partial to it because I did do the review on it, but it was.
No, it's a pretty sweet projector. It looked nice too. They updated the styling and everything.
$279 on Newegg, so it's really not that much money. 200 lumens, internal battery, portable. It has an HDMI.
That's right, it has a battery
in.
too.
Yeah, it does have the internal battery, which is a little.
That's
bit
a big
of an
upgrade, actually. I
from
forgot
the
about that.
C120. So, yeah, I mean, for a simple projector, I would choose that one. For like the all-out projector, I would do the Smart Pico.
But even the Smart Pico is only $349, and you get it's not out yet. It's supposedly out very soon. You get some accessories with the Smart Pico as well.
I mean, maybe the AXA Technologies Android LED projector.
I love that.
I didn't get a chance to.
That's a different animal,
that
though.
one, so
it's a different
I don't
animal.
know very much about that one. So I'd have to say the Smart Pico was my first choice, and the Acer C205 my second.
So that leaves me with me.
Paul?
Yes.
Same stuff, or do you have a particular?
I mean, much like the Smart Pico, I talk about the Favi J6 LED Pico. I mean, they're very, those are two very similar products, I guess I'll say, right? They both support wireless streaming. They both have embedded battery. They're both pretty bright projectors. I think they're
Lumen for that one.
Yeah, but
What's a short throw?
well, yeah, the Favi J6 LED Pico has a very short throw ratio, meaning you can project a 5-foot image from only 5 feet away, that kind of thing. That's actually a pretty big advantage in a lot of these Pico projectors.
So that's expensive.
A little more expensive, yeah. $350. It's still not
Also
that
a big
expensive.
baller.
Yeah, that's me. But we already talked about that. The other one was the. I have to go back to. It's not out yet, but the Celluon Pico Air and the Pico Pro. Again, not affiliated with us, but those. I mean, you're talking HD projector, embedded operating system. You're talking Wi-Fi connectivity, meaning AirPlay or DLNA, whatever, Miracast. I'm really intrigued by what Celluon is coming out with, and I know there's a lot of interest about that. And with the infinite, focus, so you don't have to focus the Air Pico or Pico Air and the Pico Pro. I'm really intrigued by it, and we're actually going to get a review unit quite soon. We talk to Celluon almost every day, actually, via whether it's email or whatever, and we're in close contact with them, and they want to work with us. We want to work with them. We're going to have a podcast very soon. I'm really jazzed up about it, so I kind of have to, even though it's a 2015 thing, I got to pull it into 2014.
So let's talk a little bit now about accessories, right? We have the projectors. But what are the stuff that we need around it? We have carrying cases. We have other stuff. But Paul, you were showing me something just before the broadcast. Something really nifty that
I forgot something
about. You always need audio.
Yeah. So we reviewed a few speakers throughout the year, right? So the biggest gripe that I and most people that use Pico projectors have is that the audio quality is pretty lacking.
That's because it's a built-in speaker. It's like even on regular projectors that have speakers, they're pretty bad.
Right, and most certainly big projectors have built-in fans that are really loud. So having a companion speaker is going to, at least in the, until things get perfected, it's going to be really important in the Pico projection space. Most of the Pico projectors now, when you're talking a very portable projector, maybe it's a half-a-watt speaker, maybe it's 2 half-watt speakers, that kind of thing. Some of the larger projectors like the AXA M4 that Rich has, he could flash it to you while I'm talking. That has a couple 1-watt speakers or something, like I forget exactly. It has, a little bit beefier speakers. They sound great. But what you really want is a full-fledged experience, either headphones, of course, or a nice Bluetooth speaker. I neglected to bring my other speaker, and I'll talk about it after this. This one's a Huawei One. This is the Pro in this case. This is a Bluetooth-enabled speaker, and what it does, it's just a very simple product. It actually works on Bluetooth, obviously, pairs to your smartphone or tablet, and all you do is, once you pair it, then you'll be able to use this as your audio source and your projector as your video source, obviously. And the cool thing about the Huawei One speakers, it has this rubbery back. They call it gel audio technology. They actually own the technology. Because it's rubbery, you can actually set it on a surface, and it kind of sticks in a way, and it uses that surface as a vibration surface to create really loud bass. So if you have it on a wall or on a table or glass or whatever, you're going to get different amounts of bass response from it. And it's actually a really cool product. So the Huawei One Pro, I don't know the current pricing, to be honest with you. We bought this a while ago. But you probably, in this case, under $100, I believe, if I remember correctly, around $100. And you're going to get really cool audio sound. You can experiment with it on different surfaces and get exactly the kind of sound quality you want. And it's very portable. The battery life is pretty long. It's a really cool product. Again, that's HuaweiOne.com, if I remember correctly.
Use that one for summertime parties. I was over.
Absolutely.
I was over at your place.
Exactly.
This summer, and you were using that, right?
Exactly. And so in that vein, I have another. I didn't bring the speaker, but I recently purchased 2 months ago or so. It's called Braven, Braven, the Braven 710 Bluetooth speaker, and that one's a much bigger speaker. It's probably twice the length and twice the thickness, overall twice the size. And that one again is a Bluetooth speaker, and that one's super powerful.
Bluetooth speakers are really cool for Pico projectors. Like you said, a lot of the projectors that we have are kind of lame on the sound. Not lame, but they're lacking a little bit. It's nice to have a really cool sound. I mean, when you're watching a movie outside or something like that, sound makes the difference when you're watching a movie.
Absolutely.
Like something like Transformers. You gotta have that big sound. And something like the Huawei One Pro, or the Braven speaker is definitely going to add to that experience.
So for $100 or $200, you're gonna, your experience is going to get elevated orders of magnitude
Definitely.
by having one of those speakers. I use personally the Braven 710 on a daily basis in my kitchen for streaming music from Pandora or Spotify, that kind of thing.
We also have a couple other things, right?
Yep.
So we have the, we have speakers. The other accessory that we want to talk about is a solar charger.
Shout out to these guys. Check them out.
So this is the Into Circuit dual USB solar charger, meaning that it's a solar charger that has 2 USB ports that you can charge from. So basically, this is what it is. We got this from there's a seller on Amazon. Name is His Circuit. Sell a bunch of gadgets and whatnot, right?
So this is not Pico.
Yeah.
But for a solar charger, this is not bad.
Yeah, we're talking about accessories here, but
you
want to have a speaker, definitely, because the Pico projector speakers are kind of, a little not lame, but you're looking for an improvement. You want to get one of those Bluetooth.
Absolutely.
Also, you want to check out one of these solar chargers too. I know it looks a little crazy, but
it actually works really well. I mean, you've been using it for a few weeks now.
Folds up real nice. Kind of like the size of an iPad Mini or so, or like a book. So you could take this camping or on your boat.
To the beach, whatever.
Yeah, to the beach. That's a good idea. So yeah, you can take this thing anywhere that there's sunlight. obviously. Let this thing sit in the sun, and basically on one side of it, there's a little pouch you can keep some stuff in, and then there's 2 USB ports.
That's cool.
I don't know if you could catch them there.
Yeah, no, we can see
2
them.
USB. Yeah, so 2 USB ports there, so you could charge. One of the cool things I was using it for today was not Pico Projector related, but I have some speakers out on the sun porch there. They're USB powered speakers, so I had the speakers plugged into the solar charger here through USB, and then I also had a smartphone plugged in through USB, so the smartphone was charging at the same time that I was having the speakers play the music. So this thing would be great for picnics and whatnot. It's not really a Pico Projector like directly related, but you can use this. My thing is that if you're camping is a cool way to use a Pico Projector, right? You're hanging out near a campfire with the Pico Projector. It's dark out. You're watching a movie. Use this thing the next day after you haven't showered, and you're waking up after you're waking up. You come out of your tent. You leave this thing out all day. You charge your Pico Projector. You're gonna have it ready for the next night or something to watch another movie.
Before the show, we were talking about this thing puts out what, 16 watts?
It's a 6 watt. 16 watt.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It outputs 5 volts, about 2.5 amps. Probably split between the 2 ports, I would guess. I don't know exactly, but yeah, it's enough to charge or power your two USB devices.
What did that thing retail for on the eBay?
I think this thing retails like $70.
And what was the name of what are these people called?
Into Circuit.
Check out these Into Circuit, INTO Circuit. Yeah. I mean, they gave it to us for free, and we're trying it out. Kudos to them for doing that. I mean,
that's really cool.
They didn't have to do that. That's really nice.
Well,
looks like a cool product.
The seller's name is His Circuit. Or, I'm sorry, not His Circuit. It's Into Circuit. The seller's name is His Gadget.
His Gadget.
His Gadget. The seller has a whole bunch of other stuff that we could have gotten. LED portable lights, USB cables, all kinds of weird gadgets. This one is definitely fitting for use with a fan of Pico projectors.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
any of your
you could
portable
definitely use
devices.
that thing like outdoors and stuff. Charge a projector.
Charge it to strap it to the top of your car.
It's cool for like traveling. I mean, I wouldn't use it here. I at the home I'm just gonna power my Pico projector out in the outlet. But again.
Yeah, but you ever watch Alaska shows where they're or you know what I mean?
Alaska?
Yeah, there's Alaskan shows where they're in the wilderness. They have no electricity.
Yeah, like Survivor Man would do.
There you go. There you go. You need a Survivor Man brand.
If you ever watch.
He brings cameras. Why wouldn't he bring a projector?
Yeah.
There you go.
Like the show. You ever watch Naked and Afraid?
No, I haven't watched Naked and Afraid. Sorry. Well, that's your kind of show.
This is not Naked and Afraid. Sorry, folks.
I'm neither naked nor afraid.
But that's the Into Circuit.
That's cool.
USB solar charger.
Keeping with the idea that you said that there were some odd ones out there as well, and we got a little odd.
What else do we have?
You had also one the Instagram projector you were going to show me. I want to see that before we
yes.
have to sum up. Yeah, now explain this.
All right. Yeah.
This is awesome.
This has been around. They did a Kickstarter campaign, or I don't think it was Indiegogo. I think it was Kickstarter. It doesn't matter at this point. It's done. So this is the Projecteo projector. Really, it's, I don't want to say a toy, but it's more or less a low-priced gift, if you will. So what you do is actually you buy the projector and you get a free wheel. They have these, it's much like one of those little old projectors, the wheel projectors. Mm-hmm. It's all it is a, there's a small white LED inside of this thing. You turn it on, as you can see there. I had it. Anyway, and then on here is a reel of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10. Sorry, you can't see. Where am I? About 10 pictures there. Something like 10 or 12 pictures. So what it does is you download their mobile app from Projecteo, and you can upload from Instagram directly your Instagram pictures and create your own reel, these things, for a small price. Again, I don't know the current price because I did this a while ago, but for about $34, you get the projector and the battery and the one reel for about $34.95 or whatever.
Batteries.
They're very small, like watts batteries.
Oh, okay.
So they last quite a while. I mean, mine's still going after about a year. So again, you have to use a very dark room, but this is a really cool product. Say, like the artsy people or somebody that wants a really unique gift. Yeah, kind of, not really. You're not gonna. You're not gonna see it.
Figured I'd try.
But like something really sentimental for a girlfriend or a stocking stuffer or whatever. I mean, you have some really cool Instagram photos. You can build up a little library of these things and just have fun with.
You can buy the reels individually.
Yeah. You go on the Instagram app and just, or not Instagram, but
you can buy the Projectio projector itself and then buy the reels individually.
Exactly.
So you could have 15 different reels.
I mean, these people raised, I believe it was over $1 million just for the. I mean, there was a lot of interest, and so they sent us one of these for free. We did a review of it. It's a really cool product. I suggest checking them out.
I think it's pretty cool. It's a cool thing, Right. It's a really cool thing, like to give to your grandma. Like that. Right. I'm thinking about no. Wow, I thought I still have a great idea. I think I might give one to my grandma.
There you go.
See? That's a good idea.
You gotta turn the lights down. Hope she doesn't fall down.
I seriously just thought of a great idea. Wow.
Something. Yeah. I mean, it's not the brightest thing. Maybe they'll get it brighter over time.
Thing to gift it. It's a perfect gift.
What makes this great is the integration with the Instagram app, though. It's like literally go click, 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 click. You get your 10 or whatever pictures and boom, buy one, and then a few days later you have this new reel where you could project it. In a darkened room you could probably project it 2-3 feet, which whatever. You could view that on an iPad, but it's more of the novelty.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool idea.
They raise a lot of money. So
it's interesting to me that it seems a lot like the ViewMaster stuff. Remember you came out with projectors.
Absolutely.
No.
And how long did it take you to get the images?
Less than a week. I mean, probably less than a week.
So not too bad at all.
No.
Right. Well, so end of year, we've reviewed a number of the stuff going out there. We know what our hottest are trends. We know some of the accessories that are out there that we really like. Give me one. Well, you know what? Here, I want to change that up. You showed me, or we're talking about some of the stuff you hoped to review in the next year. Now we know about Cellulon. We can call it the Cellulon show. But what else are you looking forward to reviewing in the next, say, 4 to 6 months that we can give a little tease to the viewers?
4 to 6 months. I feel like I'm on Jeopardy.
Exciting you beyond, or are you waiting for CES to really show you some of the newer stuff?
I don't know how many people are going to be showing at CES. I asked Optima, and it sounded like Optima was going to be a few months out there, so I'd be very interested in seeing what Optima has to come out with. My inkling, they do a lot of DLP stuff, so my inkling is that Optima is going to come out with some more miniaturized 720p products. So we shall see. We have a customer for the Projectio.
This is great for selfies.
Anyway, sorry about that.
There's the cell right there. The great for selfies. Now that.
There we go. So no, I think Optima's going to be doing some stuff maybe in the middle of the year. Maybe that's Society for SID basically, June or May or whatever it's going to be this year. That's my guess, just based on when I talk to them. It sounds like not for CES, but Pico Projection stuff a few months down the road. I know TI came out with their 720p engine for some of these slightly, larger projectors. I think they'll eventually make their way into smaller projectors with their tilt roll pixel technology, or TRP. I'm interested in Compound Photonics. We haven't heard anything from them in quite some time. They were supposed to come out with a 1080p engine, laser-based, using LCOS or derivative LCOS this past year, and they did not, so I don't know what happened with that. I don't know why Rich is trying to blind us, but he is. But I think between Compound Photonics and Optima, beyond the Cellulon thing, I think those are the two to watch out for.
Yeah, and that's something I was going to think, is Compound Photonics really impressed us, and I'd love to see those guys on again, and we'll.
Me too. I was very disappointed. They were supposed to come out with their 1080p engine last year in a product, and we didn't see that. I'm really disappointed. And nothing against them. I'm sure things happen, but I'd really like to get in contact with them and get maybe another podcast with them. So if they're watching, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you guys.
Well, cool. We have to wrap this up. Guys, thank you for giving us an overview of 2014 in the Pico Projection world. These guys are Rich and Paul Margansky. They are from PicoPros.com. That's PicoPros.com. It's a great website full of tons of reviews, all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to bring your website up here while it won't share for me. Google.
Sure.
There we go. PicoPros.com, there they are. All kinds of interesting stuff, from Pico Projection to accessories and the news and technologies around all of it. Gentlemen, I want to wish you guys a really happy New Year.
You too, George. Happy holidays and all that stuff.
Yeah, we hope to see you guys again very soon. We'll be doing a show, like you said, hopefully with a couple of manufacturers that have some neat stuff coming out. This
definitely.
has been a production of AV Nation. AV Nation is the network made for and by working AV professionals. We bring you all the information on the technologies, opinions, and other stuff. Please visit our site at avnation.tv, whether you see this and many more interesting shows about the AV industry. And keep an eye out for our Integrated Systems Europe in Amsterdam. We are covering it. You guys sent us via Kickstarter. Thank you so much. If you have something you want us to cover, send us along a line, and we will be happy to cover it. For Paul and Rich, I am George Tucker. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you in 2015.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
This is AV.
This
is AV Nation.
This is AV Nation.